What's up, guys and gals? So Forza's been out for a couple days now, and people have been asking like, what's it like? And I, I guess you could say it's been interesting, an interesting start with all the bugs in the beginning, and I guess the visual like graphical glitches. But after a couple setting changes, it worked out, and the force feedback was actually not that great to begin with. I think the stock settings are horrible, so I think one of the first things you got to do with Forza is actually change it up, change the settings. So we'll just jump right into what kind of settings I use and what each of the settings in the game actually do. And hopefully this video helps somebody out. If you use these settings or you learn something from this, share it, like it and subscribe. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. We're gonna go straight into it. The wheel I'm using is the Fanatec. I've been using it for Forza the whole time. The Fanatec, the base is the CSL DD, or technically the DD GT Pro, the Gran Turismo base. But the wheel I'm actually using is a Xbox wheel. The reason why I picked it was because the games on Xbox. Try an Xbox wheel. It's the Fanatec McLaren, and I think it's considered a CSL Elite, and it's the version 2. So this is the wheel I'm using. So let's go over some of these settings. I think in Forza, we'll go to driving assist first. So these are all personal preference. Suggested line, like aid, braking, ABS. I like ABS. Also not related to controls. Throttle unassisted. So with the pedals I have, I like the throttle unassisted. This usually means it drives for you if you do have it assisted, like any other of this setting here, assisted. And the steering, all these other settings, fully assisted, partially assisted, normal, these all have some sort of assistance, and that just means it steers for you, right? The best thing for me, I think, is the simulation, where it has no dampening, no kind of steer for you. It doesn't help you, right? And that kind of gives you that raw feeling. But you have a direct drive, so why would you want to I guess nerf the direct drive with something that's not simulation, right? So let's move over real quick. So these are all these other settings are personal preference too. Traction control, stability control, these are personal preference. This drives for you, and the shifting is personal preference as well. So these aren't that important, but the one thing you want to change right away if you're using a wheel, like especially a direct drive wheel, is to take the steering and put it on simulation. Yeah, that's the driving assist. Now let's talk about the feel in Forza. Let's go to advanced input. So that's the basic settings. Before we go into feel, let's talk about some other settings. Oh, so it actually reset my settings back to default. Because I have a pretty well-tuned setup, I don't need to change my dead zones, right? So I know that like some pedals have a little bit of input when you're left alone. Mine don't. And I could tell that it doesn't because in the Fanatec settings, it doesn't show any input at 0%, and when I press it all the way, it doesn't show, like, it shows 100% versus, not reaching all the way. So turn off these dead zones. So, like if your foot's on the pedal and you see a little bit of like brake action happening, then yeah, you would kind of need a dead zone. But for the most part, if your pedals are new, then have no dead zone. That's the first thing I would change. Handbrake assist, these are all just regular. So now let's actually talk about the, I guess the feel you feel. So vibration. This is literally, I keep it 100%. This is the road feel, and you want it high because you want to feel everything, right? So by road feel, I mean, like the vibrations in the road because it's not perfectly flat surface, right? The wheel bouncing up and down, you want vibration to be high. So I keep it at 100%. That way you could feel everything, right? You don't want to numb your experience because you have a, you know, you don't want to like make you spent the money on the direct drive base, you don't want to nerf yourself, right? The force feedback. Now this is a little different. So this is the strength that your wheel pushes back on your hands based on turning, right? Like this is not vibration, this is the actual force feedback. I keep it to 80%, and maybe, you know, like maybe even 70%, somewhere between 70 and 80, but I keep it at 80. This is the strength that your wheel does against your arms, your hands, and you know, 100% is nice, but you don't want to peak all the time, and you want to be able to feel the details, right? And this is just purely based on strength. So I would say if it feels too strong, lower it. If it feels too weak, raise it up. I don't like 100% because I like to have a little bit of room to go. So, you know, if I'm fighting the wheel when it's turning, I don't want it to be peaked out where I can't feel the details, right? So that's the reason why I like 80%. All right, so that's for the feel. Let's skip to, so the steering self-alignment. I think, I don't think, when there's no input detected, it just goes to the correct direction, and I think that's fine at 100. I actually haven't played around with this setting, so maybe I'll do a little bit more research, but just want to keep it 100. All right, so mechanical trail scale. This one and this one, pneumatic and mechanical, are both pretty important. Mechanical trail scale, I would say I would describe it as like how you feel the feedback through the suspension. So what it reads is the scale is the mechanical trail, the length of the static lever arm from the suspension geometry, Raising this tends to give smoother force but with less fidelity. So that's why I raised it up a little bit, because it's like how you feel the feedback through the suspension, pretty much. Even though it's smoother now and I get less fidelity, I feel like I get enough fidelity with everything else. So I would say this is like a, how would you describe it? Like a smoothing effect between you and the suspension. The pneumatic trail scale. So this is the, I guess, the feel through the tires. Yeah, so you read the description, yeah, moving tire contact patch. So kind of like the rollover of the tires, how well you can feel the rollover of the tires. And I think 100, they actually do a pretty good job on the way it's like described. So 100% is pretty decent. Road feel scale. This is for bumps, not just jolting of like driving. So you have the vibration scale, right? This goes hand in hand with road feel. I want to enhance the road feel just a little bit more than like just the vibration of the like motor or the car or whatever, right? So yeah, this is mainly road surface and bumps. And then load sensitivity, I keep at 50. This is kind of like the sweeping effect. So if you read the description, how it's affected by tire load fluctuation. So I would say it's like kind of hard to describe. Like the sweeping effect you get when you're like taking a turn and then like a high speed turn, and then you could feel what one tire working. So like the outside, like if you're in a front wheel drive car and you're making a right hand turn, you could feel the driver's side, the left front tire taking on the load. This kind of simulates that through the steering wheel. That's how, I mean, at least how I feel it. So I like 50%, or this 50 number. So this one I feel like is a little bit more personal preference. It helps me feel the understeer and oversteer. And yeah, I got these settings online, but I also played around with them. Like they give kind of a range, but these are what I liked. All right, so these are the feel settings. I'll consider them settings that you could feel like between the car and the road. These next three settings: wheel dampening, center spring scale, and dynamic behavior. I guess dynamic damper. These are like assist settings. or comfort settings, I would say. The wheel dampening scale is kind of like resistance to turning, pretty much. Like maybe 100% is where there's no power steering. Kind of feels like there's no power steering, right? But I keep it at 20. So a really low number would be lighter turning, which you're not meant to fight it, right? So this would go hand in hand probably with force feedback. And this is probably the reason why I keep it low, because I reduce force feedback and I reduce the wheel dampening scale. So this is like the resistance to turn. Like, sure, even though you want to feel the strength of the wheel, and you paid for the direct drive, you don't want to use all the force all the time, right? So you want to feel the fidelity and all that stuff. The next setting is center spring. Is the tendency to automatically center. So it assists you in putting the wheel back and pointing the car straight. You don't want that, because at that point it's like driving for you, right? And then the last setting that I consider like a comfort setting, this is dynamic damper behavior. This is the delay, I guess, the delay you feel before like an accident. So like if you hit a curb, it delays it just a little bit so that you don't hurt your hands, right? So if you read the description, details when tires are slipping, low values produce more constant damper behavior. I mean, I guess that makes sense, but I feel like it's like the delay before you can feel it. And these, like sensitivity and linearity, I would leave it alone. It's kind of like the curve of the wheel, like the curve for your feedback from the wheel. So you just say you turn it 100%, it goes 0 to 100 linearly, right? So I would just leave these alone. So yeah, those are the settings that I tried in Forza, and I think the default settings are horrible, and the strength that you feel through the wheel is a little too strong. So let's try these out. You can take a screenshot or save these settings. Hopefully my quick explanations kind of give you an idea what everything does. I know it's not like exact science, but kind of have to play around with them. But these are what the settings I like. Save. Double check something real quick before we start playing. Yeah, so those are the settings. If you want to go back, and what I'll do is I'll probably summarize all the settings. Make a full video. I don't know. Let's see. What do we want to do today? Should we play VIR? I know VIR is coming up in 2 weeks, but we'll play. I guess we could just continue the career mode. And we'll see if these settings actually fit okay. All right, so we're in super sedans now.
Center of cutting-edge automotive engineering, building some of the very best sports sedans for 3 elite performance brands: the BMW M Series, the Audi RS Series, and the Mercedes-Benz AMG division. Each routinely delivers performance numbers once reserved for elite supercars, while surrounding the driver in handcrafted interiors of sublime luxury that's soon to be jettisoned, as they're stripped out and built up to the ultimate level of blistering speed and razor-sharp handling.
All right, so let's see. We have the Audis, BMWs. Oh, I actually own one. and Mercedes. So the only one I own these two, AMG and the M4. I don't know, this AMG looks nice. Look at the AMG, just because it has some aero. Alright, I think right now, in the beginning of the game, we just save our money, right? Alright, let's try it. Let's just do some quick upgrades. I like how balanced it is. Until we start getting competitive, then we'll pick like a better. What's up, Cade? I just went over all the settings. I came on late, so had to move the stream back a couple times. Loud chair. So far, the game's been pretty good. First time playing it, I didn't get the wow factor like I did when I first played Gran Turismo 7. Only because I was spoiled by...
Typically known for its year-round great weather, most of Kyalami's rainfall happens during the warmer months, so weather conditions will be monitored closely during the race.
Yeah, it's pretty arcadey, but I mean, you know, definitely not as bad as the Crew Motorfest. That was super arcadey. Still pretty fun, and I think close to Sim, but no iRacing or Seto. Then again, it looks way better, right? Alright, let's try it with these new settings. Yeah, definitely not as strong, right? Not as aggressive. Which is good. Straight line. Maybe a second, yeah, a second there. Oh. And I oversteered. So I got on the gas a little too aggressive there. And I downshifted too much. Okay, hopefully I can save it, yeah. So the braking looks weird. I like the line or the. Oh, the shaking probably is what you're talking about, right? Yeah, the shaking's a little too intense. Oh man, I hit the grass. I've been playing this in a front-wheel drive car. Yeah, the shaking, it is weird. And the sound is kind of weird too. You know, a lot of people are gonna play this, you know, like on a controller and not in the cockpit, like third person. Maybe it's like unnecessarily exaggerated in the cockpit. I'm guessing this shaking is supposed to like let me know that ABS is kicking in. I actually don't know this course either. I'm excited for you, man. I'm gonna get on a wheel too. Alright, let's see if we can get a fast lap here. Long right hand. Greater than 90. Oh man, I knew it. I got been getting on the gas too much and on the paint. Not good. Maybe the next upgrade I'll do tires. All the front wheel driving I've been doing. Definitely doesn't hurt the hand like when you first play it. Alright, engine braking is the real thing. I guess it's definitely harsher in a car like this, right? Engine braking. Oh, I got 2 monitors, PC build in November. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a match. I'm excited for your wheel, yeah. Good case. I gotta brake or downshift less aggressively. I think you're gonna get a lot of good time from the wheel, and I feel like your PC now is like good enough, you know. Still a little slow to do 204. Almost lost it there. Like maybe the feedback's a little too low. We'll change that. Let's see, what's it missing? I can definitely feel the vibration from the road. I don't need to raise that up. I gotta remember that this doesn't rev up to like 9K. Lever here. Maintenance throttle. Braking. A little bit of induced oversteer. Okay, so we got the goal. That's I gotta remember which one's paused. Let's change some settings. Alright, so Cade recently been getting 80 FPS. Oh, that's good. On iRacing? Pretty good for iRacing. Alright, so these are still okay. Let's I think this might be too low. No. Let's go up to 90. like up a little. This is the feel in the tires. I wasn't feeling that load sensitivity. This was the sweeping effect. Yeah, so it goes to 100. Maybe we'll do 55. Alright, so those settings I just changed. Force feedback scale. I raised it up a little bit because the strength was too low. That's like overall strength. Pneumatic trail scale. This is the tire feel. I raised that up a little bit. And then load sensitivity. I would say this is like the sweeping effect, right? Like you could feel the load change from tire to tire based on like a long sweeper. So I raised that up a little bit too. Let's save those and then go back and practice and see. I raised the harshness up a little bit, so we'll see. Maybe hopefully I can still feel. Okay, I feel understeer or the oversteer there, the loss in traction in the rear. The ABS, the shaking from the ABS is a little too much. Sometimes it masks like the tire feel. So maybe I don't know which setting that is though for ABS. Maybe that may be like road feel. Maybe I'll just not. Let me try to not. Okay, so I can feel the understeer get loose, and I can feel the wheel vibrate a little, like as the wheel slides. What's up, Adam? Feeling all right? Good work. Yeah, so I can feel the understeer. I like these settings a little bit better. So I raised the tire feel for rolling over for understeer, and I can tell that increased a little bit, right? Load, I don't notice the difference with the load balancing. I mean, I guess the tire slipping is the biggest feel that you can feel, biggest feedback you can feel. And it got turned into me. Off tonight? You doing Taco Tuesday tomorrow? I think it's a good balance between understeer and oversteer. I think I could turn with the pedal. You know what I mean? Like even if it understeers, I could just give it a little bit of gas. So I think it's a good amount of understeer. It's just, you know, I gotta be better at controlling it with the pedal. Let's play with this real quick. Alright, let's change another setting. What happens if I max out this? Because I didn't really feel a difference with changing the load sensitivity. What happens if I max it out? That way we could kind of like exaggerate the feel. I wonder if does it take effect right away? I mean, the load transfer, it's supposed to be a load transfer feeling, but I don't. I hope you don't have to quit the game every time. Well, we can test that. Let's test that. I mean, like, I guess is that resistance you feel right before it goes into like oversteer or understeer. It's like I don't know, it's hard to describe. Alright, let's test to see if I need to get out of the menu. Let's change something I could tell. The force feedback scale, I'll turn all the way down. Okay, yeah. So it does change right away because I don't feel anything now. It's almost like my wheel got disconnected. So okay, that's good. That's good to know. So there you go. There's a tip for you. These settings are right away. All right, so we'll change that back. force feedback scale, we had that at about 100. Oh, I think I had it at 80. I reduce it to 90 now. So I don't know what this load sensitivity. I guess the smoother aligning. Let me put it back to. Let's go to 0 and see how it feels. I didn't notice the difference between 100 and 50. Maybe it's just. I mean, I don't notice the difference. Oh, okay. I think I felt it there. Like, so let me get this straight. So here, when you're turning, there's none of that, like you could feel it get loose because it starts to understeer, but really, I don't know if you know that feeling that, like, you can get where when you're turning to the left, the wheel wants to push right, but then when you turn right, there's like a small delay before you feel the wheel resist, kind of like it's simulating that feeling that you get when the car's weight is transferring late. You know what I mean? I think that's what that setting is. So let's put that back at 50. Kind of hard to explain, but I guess it feels like when you're turning the wheel one way, you can feel the force feedback kick in late. And when you turn the other way, you're going with the wheel. And then as soon as the weight transfers, you can feel it kick in the opposite direction. So it kind of like simulate that swaying feeling you get when you're in the car. I think 50 was good. I mean, it's like I said, the difference between 100 and 50 I barely noticed, but I could definitely notice when it's 0. Like, you don't get that feeling. It's just like you're playing an older style arcade game where it's just all force feedback and there's no like weight load and all that stuff. Okay, now we figured out what that setting is like, and I mean that's what the description says, right? Alright, so I think we got some good feedback. Oh man, look at the car's all damaged. Got some good information on what the settings do. And I think we'll keep dialing them in. And I'm pretty sure some expert on Reddit's gonna have the perfect setting for this wheel for this, you know, like for sim. It looks like the races at night. The only thing I have with the actual wheel itself is everything that's like on here, I think is automatic. No, actually I have a Fanatec. I have Fanatec set up. That would be default. Usually I thought it was gonna be automatic, but it's not. All right, Adam, we get an Assetto Corsa server going. Practice. All right, so everyone's on mediums. Did we ever set up our fuel and tire? Oh wait, I don't think I set it up. How do I go back? Oh, here, this is where. Oh, I'm locked in anyway, so whatever. How many laps is this? The 18 lap race. Oh no, he's at 18 laps. I tell how many laps this race is. I think I went too fast. Go back. No. There you go. Looks like everyone's at 18 laps. Okay, 20 laps, 18 laps, 20 laps, 21, 19. Let's do 18 laps. 'Cause I'm dumb and I didn't check how many laps there were, and I'm assuming they're setting it at the minimum. By they, I mean the computer. Yeah, honestly, like, I love the front of this car. Like, the CLA isn't as aggressive, but I mean, that's fine. It's a 4-lap race. Okay. Why were the computers putting in like 18 laps of fuel? And everyone's braking really early, but I guess that's my fault because you know, I should probably be working on my racecraft now. Alright, so there's a car on my left. Oh, you know what? There are other settings. Because I don't have multiple monitors, I need to do this. Proximity, markers, and then I also need to, where is it? I need to see other cars. I think that might be accessibility. Oh, HUD. Alright, so here is another setting that's good. Proximity arrows on. So I don't have triple monitors or VR, so I can't look to the left and right. So I would need these proximity arrows. I lost myself for a second there. We're on the track. Oh man, someone just like hitting me. Yeah, see, you see the graphics are getting worse the more cars there are in front of me. And like, I have a 7900 XTX, so it's like, not like I'm running anything. Well, and it's capped at 60 frames per second, so why is it, you know, medium settings? I mean, like, hopefully they have an update. I think word on the street is they're gonna have an up. They're gonna have an up, and someone just pitted me. Then again, I need to leave him space, right? I like leave this guy some space. Oh man, braking like way too much. Like no one in front of him. After this, we'll go over to settings again. Yeah, see, I can feel like when I lose traction there, I go understeer. Maybe the feed force feedback's a little bit on the weak side. Oh my gosh. You see that we just all pile up. So the AI in here isn't as great as like Gran Turismo, but they are like in groups. They don't know how to drive, but when you battle them one-on-one, I feel like it's fun. I would say the main difference is like the Gran Turismo AI, they're all smart, but, and in driving in groups they do good, but individually they just, you know, they just drive their line. They're not, you know, have no personality. I feel like in Gran Turismo they're just moving cones, right? Okay, gotta get to the next car, pass him. Gotta get to the next car, pass him. Here I feel like they actually have a decent battle in the front. Just don't know how to drive together. And I'm pretty far back. Ninth. Always do that over. Don't shift too much there. Yeah, see there, I probably couldn't feel the load. If I had the load too low, I wouldn't have been able to save it. I'm used to like inducing the steer with the brake, but I need to learn how to steer, turn in with the gas. Kind of cool to learn how to steer with the brake. Feel like that. Turn in a little bit. I need to learn how to, like I said, learn how to do it with the gas. Like third here, it's good. Man. Catchy.
Total time penalty is about half a second.
I mean, that was my fault. Like, even though he was braking too early, you know, I need to look ahead and not bully the AI as much. Like for that turn, I braked a little too hard. For the second to last turn. A little slow exit there.
Last lap.
$7K, V8, not used to it. I guess the 7K I'm kind of used to. Little mini drift there, but yeah, let's redo that. Kind of gas a little too early. Most of the gas. This is fun, like all the torque. You gotta, you know, get used to more cars with power. Okay, maybe a little too having a little too much fun there. I just see like how late I can brake. The other turn I didn't even brake at all. Straight line, gotcha. Kind of gassed too early. I need to stop doing that. Like a bad habit, four-wheel drive bad habit, right? Or at least learn how to catch it right away. Got a podium, but you know. And then you know, like the AI gets harder over time, which is kind of nice. Kind of
we finished P3.
I had 4 more, I guess, is the power of the weight score pretty much. I still was in third. 30K. New wheels. Quick upgrade. I think pretty balanced. Yeah, I could have been better with the speed. Less speed. Hopefully you guys had a good weekend. I'm excited. So this weekend there's actually the firm on Sunday, and I'm gonna go spectate. If there's tickets available, I think there are. Still on the fence about actually running because the weekend after is VIR.
The circuit is almost entirely flat, so always keep your eyes focused far down the track because passing opportunities will happen in some unexpected places.
All right, so it's 4 laps. 4 laps for the event. So remember that, guys. When was the last time we drove this track? Remember? Was it the first series? I think it was. Backwards? Oh, it was clockwise. Backwards from the last time we drove it. A bit different. I think last time we drove it was at night or in the wet. Who's gonna play this this wheel versus a controller? I guess like that's a preference thing. Oh, and I just noticed my chat doesn't work. A long sleeper here. Broke late. Okay. Required time. Alright, so I gotta take turn 1 a little bit more careful. I did the same thing last time. My bad, that was my fault. He defended. This practice. I don't know why he broke there, but let's pause real quick. Check something. Oh man. Okay, maybe I should not pause in the middle of a braking zone. bouncing off the rev limiter too much. Practice. These turns feel like 1 and 2. I like how it does all the announcements during the straight. Kind of cool. Kind of knows that like you're busy. Feels like a second gear turn or maybe third. Track. Alright, so it was what, 4 laps? No, my poor AMG. My wide body. Gotta be in black too, right? Alright, let's just go to... Oh, it's not one. We'll reduce the gas with 4 laps, right? All right. What if it's like, I read it wrong, it's like 5 laps. I like how the background gets more crazy as the race comes. In practice, is like there's no one in the stands, and then during the race, there's like a ton of people in the stands. Pretty cool. I went from the left lane to the right lane. Oh man. Okay. That. Oh, I'm stuck to this guy. That's a weird setup. Wide body and the wheels are, it's like a drag car setup. Stopping on it. It's like parked on the apex back there. Like, you see how much on the inside I was there? That means I could have carried more speed. So Adam says, you know, like signing up for a track day. They didn't have advanced group spots left. There's only beginner and intermediate. So I guess I'm gonna go join intermediate. Or maybe if I do go, what if I do beginner? Just show up and like go up in like I don't know, like my wife's car. It'd be funny. Sometimes beginner has actually better awareness than intermediate. You're in advance, right? Oh man, you've been the firm is like your home track.
Final lap.
You need to be in advance. Sometimes I feel like I said, intermediate sometimes is worse than beginner, because some people sign up for intermediate because they don't want to be considered a beginner, but they're not. I don't know. I feel like maybe they're not ready and their awareness isn't there yet. Like maybe they're fast, but their awareness isn't there, and they don't point you by and stuff like that. That's my only complaint. My gripe about intermediate. I'm not saying that I'm fast or anything, but at least be aware, you know, be safe, and like you know, don't drive with your in your rear view mirrors, but at least know that someone's behind you. I'm taking this like very light because I'm like on the wrong line. Yeah, exactly, Adam. People sign up for intermediate when they're not ready because they don't want to be considered beginners, but I say if you feel like you're a beginner, be a beginner. I was a beginner for a long time. You get like a lot of guidance, and you know, like if you're in DE1 or like NASA, you get free instruction. Yeah, I used to do like 2-gun, 3-gun competitions, and we would do like drills and all that jazz, and it would cost you money to be coached. And imagine if you're in HPDE1, they give you a free instructor. It's like giving you a free coach. Like usually the price of the session, right? We got pole there. Some upgrades. I'm not really paying too much attention for the upgrades on this car because honestly, I'm only using it for the series. I don't know. We'll see if I like it would be perfect to sign up for the Sunday because it's cheap. I don't know which car to bring though. I mean, probably not the Lotus, honestly.
Silverstone is hallowed ground, one of the most famous, exciting, and technically challenging tracks, where modern Grand Prix racing was born on a repurposed World War II airstrip.
We're back at Silverstone. You know, the S2000 color. Not just the color, but also like a company that used to make turbo kits for the Eclipse. Silverstone. I promised to talk more about the using a wheel in the game, and I think it's okay. So here's a wet course rear-wheel drive. Let's see how it feels. Definitely tell that it's a lot slippier, but you know, the wheel honestly doesn't feel as scary as if you're like Gran Turismo wet. Gran Turismo wet is like you can feel it like you're about to die. Oh, okay, so I say that and then as I die. Oh, I can't go back. I guess practice. Like, hey, we don't. If you can't handle practice, then you can't. There now that the time started. Yeah, it's definitely not as scary as like Gran Turismo in the wet, but it's still pretty fun. Little sweeper there. You know, I need to learn this track too because it's one of the ones that I need to want to visit. A lot of ABS action happening. Understeer there. A little understeer there too. If I could turn the car, there you go. Oh, I don't know why I shifted down to first. Also in this, in Forza, it doesn't seem like there's a wet line or a dry line. It seems like if it's raining, the whole track is wet. Which kind of like, you know, you want a dry line to start appearing. armrest. Oh god, I'm in the grass. Yeah, that was bad. If you get a wheel stuck in the grass, you're done. Oh man, oops. Yeah, maybe I don't have as much gear as like a Honda. Or RPMs, I guess. That was pretty nice. Slid out to the outside. Silverstone is so long, I feel like. I'm definitely not a wet driver. But it's definitely fun. Break in the grass. Lost a little bit of speed there, redlining. This game is playable with the wheel. I know the whole topic of today is the wheel in Forza, and I think it is playable. But I feel like it's as fast as if you were playing a D-pad or a controller. And you get a little bit more detail, so maybe there's that, right? You become a better driver. But I mean, I wouldn't go buy a setup just for this game unless you were going to use it for other things, right? Alright, let's get into the race. Looks kind of nice. Might have to. They might sell me on this car. A super aggressive, like Menards. Double check. 4 laps. Okay. Our favorite number, 15. It goes down to 3, we'll bump it up. 3 and then bump. Still on the sport tires. Yeah, so the only thing about the campaign is it's very rolling start. Feels the same. You know, like maybe throw in like different type. I mean, like sure the car types change, but not the race types. You know? All road course. I mean, do they have dirt in here? I like how the weather, at least there's weather. And those guys on my right. There's a guy off already. No one. Plus people on my right behind me. One stacked up on my left. Guys hitting me. Oh god. Why? They all just like brake checked each other. Now, let me stay away from this guy. Now the proximity arrows are brown in color. They don't really stand out. I mean, I guess against a black interior they kind of do, but I wish they were like a brighter color. And like maybe a little bit wider too. They're about as thick as like the red stripe on the steering wheel, so it's kind of like easy to miss. Yeah, a little bit heavy rain here. Sliding. Okay, I snapped oversteered. Yeah, it does the whole segment. Man, it's my fault. Didn't realize that turn was that sharp. Yeah, stop bullying these guys. Man. Alright. Apparently they like go really slow on that turn. The weather V8s don't work well together. Yeah, maybe there I need to sacrifice the apex so I could get a better apex here. Left him some space, but I guess he didn't want to use the space. Oh shoot. I was just like looking at the chat. Don't do that. Alright, so this is a deceiving turn that looks like it's just a kink, but it actually is pretty aggressive. Oh man. abusing the gas here a little bit. Is the rain getting harder? I think it is. How is it like? Does it feel like Gran Turismo 7 where it has different levels of wet, other than like really wet and medium wet? I mean, and like I said, there's no real. I mean, now I'm starting to see a dry line, so yeah, maybe I was wrong. Maybe there is a dry line. There, I was offline and I was sliding all over the place, so I'm getting a dry line. Oh man, I didn't brake enough. Okay, let me go back. On the brake. The rewind feature, you know, is like not really a sim thing, but it makes it fun, so you're not just like using it every corner. Or one corner you throw your whole race away, right? But obviously you can't do that in multiplayer. You guys are right on me. Man. Apex. That's fun. But the game actually comes out in a couple hours. Who's actually gonna play it? Like, I know this is early access, but in an hour it comes out officially. I wonder if the multiplayer experience will change in an hour. If you have the game, go download it now. You're about to be able to play in an hour. Oh man, a little bit in the grass. And like the stream said, in order to really fully enjoy the game, you gotta change your settings. So we'll go over those settings again, real quick.
One more. Finish strong.
I had to take a wider line to be safer, but it was a wetter line. Maybe I just need to stick to the driving line. About to be out of fuel here, but I mean, like that's a plan, right? Those curves are pretty aggressive. I messed it up in the last couple turns. I feel like maybe if I could have held it out. It's funny to me that there's a dry line. There's like hardly any cars, you know. It's a 2.5 minute lap, and there's dry lines.
Well done. P1.
And it looks kind of really nice. All right, let's see. 2 more races. Little baby Roebling here, I think. Kind of, not really.
Everything about Hakone is big. The mountains, the grandstands, the track, and the speed you'll be taking through every section.
Do a little refresher. Oh, actually, no. Oh man, it feels nice to have actually have grip and not, you know, like being in the wet. Little sweeper here. Probably could have gone to gas a little bit earlier, like slowly. A little sweeper. I like these high speed turns. Like in the rain, it's kind of like, okay, a little slow. Alright, I guess the paint and the curbs actually are pretty slippery. Sweepers here. Brake point in and then like just, oh man, snap oversteer. All the weight transfer, but still able to save it. Control brake there. A little bit to turn in, it's kind of nice. Okay, maybe get off the gas there. Yeah, even though these are high-speed turns, you gotta. If you're not on the line, you gotta get off the gas. But that, you know, it's common sense. engine braking there. That's kind of bad. That last corner is pretty fun. I like it. Two more races. I like the last one. And we'll go over the settings again. And so far, I mean, the wheel works really good. I mean, it feels like a sim, you know? I think it could be competitive with a controller. 5 laps. Set it up for 5 laps. A little bit of wheel spin there. Let's see if we get to take this sweeper in the right lane. We're going like really wide here, a lot of cars. That guy, do you see how he entered? He just crashed into his buddies. Oh man. Weird. People braking there. Stuck to the guy. Going like right on my right. Oh man. Look at that. He would have pushed me off if I didn't back off. He's AI. It was pretty rough. Yeah, he still hits me. Alright, there's a guy behind me. I just gotta get away from him. Alright, so there's a guy on my right. Let him pass, and then the guy behind me ram into me. Fourth gear and the third gear. Side by side. guy's obviously on the line. I knew it. Going in too hot. Having a little too much fun. This turn is fun. This one right here. Feels a lot better to drive with this setting, the new settings, versus like the original settings. I actually feel when it's about to understeer. That was my fault. Oh, I shouldn't have rewinded it. I wanted to see if I could save it. Just a habit, I guess. I'll probably take those S's a little straighter next time to be faster, but this is a fun course. That oversteer. That oversteer. I wanted to see how far I can push it out.
Last lap. Let's go.
Fourth. Third. Oh man, I cooked it. You're in the lead. Why are you slowing down here? Like, you should be taking this fast. There. paint is really like aggressive. Maybe keep it in third and fourth. I think the last lap you get a lot of pressure. Last corner. All right.
Nicely done. We finished P1.
There's AMGs up front. Let's see. All right, the last race. Ah. I like Spa. I don't think it's been a while since I've driven it. Any game, actually, honestly. Another one of those tracks that's like bucket list tracks that I want to go to.
Spa-Francorchamps is sacred ground, one of the most respected racetracks in the world, with challenging turns that...
All right, let's look at the settings real quick. Before I do my last race, we'll go over the settings real quick. All right. So if you missed it at the beginning of the video, we'll look at the driving assist. These are just pretty much your preference, right? Unassisted throttles, ideal. And then the steering, fully assisted, partially assisted, and normal are all, you know, like AI is helping you. So I would pick simulation, that way you take advantage of your wheel. If you're using a controller, maybe you want to pick one of these other settings, but if you're using a wheel, simulation no matter what. The dead zones. So that's the driving assist. Let's see if there's any other setting. So wheel settings, we'll just mainly talk about wheel settings. Advanced input. These dead zones, you only want them if you're like showing some braking. If your foot's off the, or if you know, like ride the brake or ride the clutch, you want to bring these up to 5%. Or if you press all the way and you notice you're like missing some of the acceleration or brake at the end, then you want to bring this down. So dead zones, if you have a high quality pedal set and it's relatively new and no issues and you're not riding the clutch or riding the brake, 0 and 100. 0 and 100 for steering wheel too. If you have a direct drive and it's not like a belt driven or gear driven, I keep this at 0 and 100. All right, for the first set of settings, these are what I call the feel settings. Vibration scale 100. So this is the vibration that you feel in the road, or you know, like ABS kicks in. This is the vibration you feel. I like to be able to feel the road, so I put it at 100. Another feel setting is the force feedback scale. This is how strong the force feedback is. 100 would be, you know, like using your normal amount, and then 90 is like a little bit down, turn down just a little bit. Even though the strength is kind of nice to have, it like you want to feel the details, not just the strength. You know, maybe I'll actually turn this up a little. 95. There's a personal preference for this force feedback. Steering self-alignment, I don't actually know what this one does. It's not the same as the center spring scale. But I think it's when it lines up in the middle when you're not like no steering inputs detected. So just leave it 100. Mechanical trail scale. This is the smoothing before you feel the suspension feedback. So I like it smooth, 150. And then this is the same thing but for tire, like when a tire rolls. So either I guess maybe not really slip angle but more like the roll of the tire. So like the springiness of the tire. Road feel scale is similar to the vibration scale, but actually the road details. So I turned it up by 10. So these two I turned up because I want to be able to feel understeer happening and oversteer happening. So 150 and 110 is what we experimented with and liked. Road feel. This is what like you can feel the road surface, bumps, curbs, right? This will feedback into the wheel. Like if your right side wheels hit the curb, you could feel the wheel jerk a little bit to the right or to the left. And the last feel setting is this load sensitivity. So we played around with this too. We set it to 0, then 100, and then we liked it at 50. So this is pretty much the delay when you feel when the weight transfer happens. So like when you're turning left and then you suddenly turn right and then you turn left again, it's the tendency for the wheel to resist the opposite direction you're turning based on you trying to shift the weight. You know what I mean? Kind of hard to explain. At 0, we felt none of that. At 100, we felt too much. And I think 50 is just right. Like like Goldilocks. That's it for the feel, how the wheel feels. And then these 3 settings are what we call the comfort/assist settings. So the wheel dampening is how hard the wheel resists to turning. So even though it's realistic for you to like if you have a real car and no power steering, this would be set high, right? So it's hard for you to turn the wheel because of resistance in the wheels, but it's not important to feel because it's constant, right? So turn it down. I like to turn it down. That way I could feel these guys a little bit more, right? The slipping and weight transfer. I can feel those more instead of just straight up fighting the wheel. I think by default this is set pretty high, so it's almost like you have no power steering, right? Center spring scale, I set that to 0. What this does is it forces the wheel to automatically correct and center, but in real life that doesn't happen, right? Unless you're driving like a Tesla, it's not going to automatically center itself based on just because you let the wheel go. So you don't want the car to do any driving for you, so center spring scale is important to leave at 0. Dynamic damper behavior. So this is the delay before you feel like a crash or hitting a bump so that your mind has time to embrace or brace yourself. So too low of a delay, it happens right away and you could hurt your hands. Too high of a delay, then it feels unnatural. So I like 10. 10, 20, something low. But yeah, these are more like comfort/driving assist settings. That's why they're all pretty low. And sensitivity and linearity, these are default at 50. Unless you have like a weird wheel or using a joystick, I don't think these even show up. If you're using joystick, then that's when I would adjust these. But if you're using a wheel, leave this at 50. This is like, you turn 90, it's 90. You turn 180, it's 180. Versus like if you change the linearity, it could be like turn 90 and it's 30. You turn 180, then it's 180 because it's like not linear. It's either exponential or there's a different curve. So I would leave these alone. And yeah, those are the main settings for the wheel. And like I said before, the direct drive is important to have, and it's nice to have in the game. But I think you could be competitive with a controller, so you don't really need to get a direct drive wheel if you're only going to be playing Forza. So that's my spiel before final race. Yeah, feel free to take a picture of those settings, and then we could talk, or we could just, you know, like learn what they actually do and then like apply. Play like go in a practice session, man. Go in a practice session, and set the setting to the lowest setting, try it out, and then set it to the high setting, and then try it out and see what the difference is, and then like find a good middle. This course gives me bad memories of Gran Turismo because the last license you get is this course in the wet with the Porsche, like the race car, and it's like you can't, if you go off the dry line at least a little bit, you'll spin out. Has a little bit better turn in than other cars that I've driven here. It's like a third, second gear kind of turn, and then a third, second, third. Okay, this is a second. For this car at least. This Wednesday we're going to be doing a community race again. I have no idea where it's going to be and what cars we're going to pick, but set it up for Wednesday, iRacing, and if you want to be part of the community race, you got to be in a Discord. So join a Discord. If anyone is in the chat, just type ! Discord or the command. The bot can send you the link. Third gear? Yeah. I don't even know if the bot's working right now. I haven't seen it say anything, so. I think, honestly, like I might stream a little less because I want to start creating videos that will, you know, for some reason, YouTube doesn't really make streams as discoverable, and I can understand why, because it's kind of like, you know, this is more for community building than it is about gaining more, you know, like reach. It's a second gear turn. So, you know, I want to focus on gaining more reach first, building an audience, then hang out with you guys on stream. So I'll probably stream a little bit less. You know, create how-to videos and, you know, like maybe shorts. The short form content is like where I really like, enjoy. That's where I do all my comedy stuff on Instagram and stuff. But the only way to get better is to practice in the sim, and I think live streaming is, I get the most practice when I'm live streaming, right? So I'm sitting down, driving with you guys are giving me advice. We're just hanging out, you know. What did we say this was, the third gear? And second gear? And third gear? Yeah, I like hanging out with you guys. The second gear? Yeah. Third, second. Probably third. For this car, at least. A lot of shifting. Get fourth. Off track there a little bit. Got a warning. third gear sweeper there. I'm not paying attention. Oh man, way off. Uh-oh. Got a warning last time. Alright, second gear here. You know, the more you understand those settings, the better you can set them up, you know. Thanks. This is a short version of Spa. But no, it's fine. That was fun. And his car looks good. Alright, let's see how many laps. Gonna guess like 3-4 laps. Type in the link for the Discord. Is the bot alive? Not alive. Oh no, it is alive. Alright, so it is a 4-lap race. It says we're estimated to be second, so the AI went up in difficulty. 4-lap race. %. All right, so there's the link for the Discord. If you want to join us in the community races, then yeah, join the Discord. A lot of wheel spin there. I need to learn that, but you know, I'm probably not going to use this car long term, so I don't really need to learn it. Let's give these guys on the inside some space. Oh, and they still ram into me. It's being nice. Little baby asses here. Oh god. Alright guys. Alright guys. I blame this BMW. He's oh, is he braking here? And I'll see the guys in front are gone now because they're not in this mess, you know. Second, third, or second, third, and then second. Maybe that guy left me space because I left him space earlier. Oh man. Why? Like no one in front of him and he broke. I can't, you know, get mad at them too much. I'm the one driving too aggressively, I guess. That wide body looks so weird. ABS, little lock up there. Thanks for giving me space. It's a very fun turn. You get a lot of grip because there's, you know, like compression because you're going uphill. Let's see if we can catch up with these guys. They're just like taking off. Sliding all over the place. I think my tires aren't worn out, but the game comes out in 20 minutes. Is anyone like waiting to buy it or already bought it and just waiting to start? Oh man, every time I do that, I always feel like I'm about to hit the inside wall. That's because like some cars you don't even need a brake there, right? Lift a little bit. Gotta reel them in. Wide there. Oh man, what the heck? See that? Gotta hop back on the line. Double 20 with the car. what is it, like level 40 or 50 before you do an engine swap. Tell me I'm out of gas. Alright, let's not hit the inside wall.
Final lap. You got this.
Or I could ABS lock up and not even be close to the wall. And Spa is fun. Brake a little bit up the hill, north, some grip, coast, gas. Oh man, I don't know what happened there. I was just like looking at something else. Third. Second. Third. I use all the track, but I haven't been. Second. Actually, third, I guess. Not a second. Induced oversteer. Feels good. Use all the curves. Maybe I shouldn't have corrected it there. Probably could have gotten better speed. Fourth here. Second. Oh man, oops. That's horrible. Yeah, that's where you lose it right before the finish line, you know? I like Spa.
Nice work out there. P1.
I love weight. Power to weight ratio score was pretty high. Guess you get a lot of points. All right, so that was the series, sedan series. Final closing remarks about steering. I think you can, like I said before, you could use a direct drive wheel on this game and it'll be fine. But you could also use a controller and it'd be fine. Yeah. Well, last time we go through the settings one more time. Well, I mean, I guess if you missed the settings, you could go to the beginning of this video, and I think in the middle of it, I also mentioned it. But you know what? Let me just, for all time's sake, driving assist. Nah, we don't have to go over it. All right, well, that's the stream. As always, I appreciate you guys sticking around. I hope you learned a thing or two about the settings. You know, I think before the game gets released, they're probably gonna do an update. But then again, the game gets released in 12 minutes. So if you're playing, try it on the default settings. I don't think you'll enjoy it because it's gonna be like way too much feedback. There's not gonna be enough detail, not enough fidelity. And by too much feedback, I mean it's just all strength. My guess is the So the settings that are messing that up are, look at it. You're probably gonna have a really high, like, force feedback, probably gonna be 100, and all your comfort / assist settings, like your wheel dampening, center spring, dynamic dampener, are all gonna be too high. And same for, yeah, those are probably all too high. So I would turn those down when you first start. So yeah, just go through the settings, play around with them in practice mode, set them to 0, then set them to 100. They, as you saw on the stream, they update live, so you could just pause the game, change the setting, and then restart or unpause the game, and then the setting will be applied. So try that, at least do a couple practice laps. Maybe copy my settings if you're, you know, like in the middle of the video, take a screenshot. But yeah, go for, like, bump up all the feel based settings, and then bump down the comfort / assist settings, and then you'll have a wheel that's like tuned and just right. It doesn't feel as good as it does in like iRacing or Assetto Corsa yet, but then again, I haven't played with the Fanatec settings yet. So, you know, just review what each of the settings do, try it out, go to the lowest setting, then go to the highest setting, and see what you like. But yeah, hopefully this video helps you out, and thanks guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.